Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. Not Hashem, not Yahweh, Haveh, Vaveh. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ. Not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha, not Jesus. It's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishop, and elders of great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sincere salutation to all the occupant preaching this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth, or believing this truth and teaching this truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the worthwhile listen learning, you few sister will listen learning. Messiah from Jim Masaleno, Camp Prophet Doom, coming at you on the lesson, truth, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, which we edifying. So I titled this lesson, George Crabb, you don't know the scriptures, nor the prophecies. Yes, I need to add that. But I saw this clip from this guy here, George Crabb. And let me put this in here, bear with me here. And it's a lot of these Edomites that's now going into Ezekiel 38. And none of these devils know these prophecies. But now everybody is focused on Ezekiel 38, which they all heard from the apostles, man. They all heard from the apostles. Because nobody talk about Ezekiel 38, Gog or Magog, but the apostles, GMS, the elder bishop, elders, and brothers, man. And those that teaching the same sound doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Ain't nobody outside that's talking about Gog and Magog. So now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about Gog, Magog. So I got this video I'm going to play, but let me read this first. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. You see it. So let's get this. Listen to what this I'm just gonna let the Edomites speak, and I'm gonna get some precepts. These Edomites do not know these scriptures nor the prophecies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So check this out. And there's so many videos here on the side. Let me pull these up on the side here. I want to show these real quick. So here is one. Ezekiel 38 prophecy. When will Russia attack Israel? See this? Edomite. 3 months ago from Beyond Today. Here is one. Gog and Magog. Internet hype or real Bible study. Ezekiel 38 and 39. Hold on. I didn't mean to click on that. Salakia. Didn't mean to click on that. I just want to show these because now all these devils is talking about Ezekiel 38. So let me show a couple more. So here go one. All Israel news. Who or what are Gog and Magog as described in the book of Ezekiel. See, 4 things must happen before the war of Gog and Magog come to pass. The Bible Prophecy Project. These are Edomites, man. This say 1 year ago. Israel and Bible prophecy mapped. These see the imminent invasion. This is Derek Richard Walker. The imminent invasion of Israel, an overview of Ezekiel 38, 6 years ago. They get this from the apostles, man. Calvary Chapel, Yabu City, Gog and Magog, Ezekiel 38 and 39. Look, the leap of faith, identifying Gog and Magog 11 months ago. Look, Gog and Magog is Vladimir Putin, Gog, Joel Rosenberg on TBN 2 years ago. Where do you think they're getting this from, man? Oh, this cold. Has Turkey, Erdogan set the stage for Ezekiel 38 and 39. See this? 2 years ago. Now let's play the video. And I was talking to the big brother earlier today, the head brother of Canton Hall. He said, hey, now these heathens are scrambling to turn in some homework. That's a title for a lesson. He said, now these heathens are scrambling to turn in some homework. So let's play some of this. Listen to this slow belly. Let me turn this volume up. I'll turn the volume down a little bit.
So the world right now has just gone crazy, right? We see it in this war in Israel that might spread and get worse. But let's go back in history. Let's go to Emperor Hadrian in 136 AD. He changed the name of the province from Judea, which is, they didn't have an Israel at that time because it was a divided nation, and Assyria took that away. But Judea was the same as that land, right? The land of Israel, to Palestina, in an attempt to erase its Jewish past. So that's where you get the word Palestine that stuck for so long. And that's where we get these people called the Palestinians. They came around after Jesus around 136 AD with this emperor named Hadrian, who wanted to wipe Israel off of the map. That guy was very evil, very anti-Semitic. And that's what anti-Semitic is, by the way. It's just evil. So Hadrian did this horrible thing, and then he spread the Jewish people. He wanted to wipe them off the map. So what did he do? He had them sold as slaves to all the areas around the Roman Empire, all the four corners of that known world, and he had them taken out of their own land, out of their father's land. So then what happens? It's wiped off. There was no more. It was a desolate land for many, many years. And the Israelis, the Jewish people, were spread all over the world, all over the known world of that time. But
and he said that anti-Semitic is just hate for all evil. No, it just means you're against the Shemites. And Shem had 5 sons. So he don't know what he's talking about. But let's listen to this slow belly.
What happened in 1948, my friend? In 1948, Israel was rebirthed miraculously. This was a huge miracle. And it was after the Holocaust, right? The evil satanic Nazis that were killing the Jewish people, much like the Hamas were. And they came back after World War II in 1948, and Israel was rebirthed. And that fulfills what? Ezekiel, right? In Old Testament scripture, Ezekiel 36 and 37. Let's look at that. So in 1948, this could be, because a lot of people are saying that Psalm 83 could be today, but I believe it was in 1948 where we see these nations spelled out in Psalm 83, and this was in 1948, these nations came against Israel, trying to wipe Israel off of the map. They didn't want this Jewish country coming back because they were Muslim countries, right? So Egypt was...
So this slow belly Edomite is saying that Psalms 83 happened in 1948. When the scriptures tell you that these people, these allied nations, which is all our enemies, was going to come against Israel to cut them off from being a nation. In 1948, the name or the state of Israel was established. So what is he talking about? Psalms 83 has nothing to do with 1948, but this is what he's saying. Listen to this nigga.
Was against them. Saudi Arabia. We know that Syria, Iraq, Iran, all these people came against Israel. And these are their names that were listed in Psalm 83, right? The Hagrites, the Moabites, the Edomites, Mom, the Ishmaelites, Amalek, right? The Egyptian people. So that's what we saw. That's what happened. And I think that was the fulfillment of it. However,
well, that wasn't the fulfillment of it. That is not what Ezekiel 38 is. Psalms 83 is talking about, man. See, these Edomites don't know the prophecy. They don't know the scriptures neither, man. The scriptures tell you that Israel is going to be called a no people.
However, Ezekiel 38:39, this war has never happened. But what is interesting about that is today we see Iran, which was historically Persia. You can look that up if you want. And Russia, which is the area of Magog and some of these other countries listed in Ezekiel 38, they're in alliance right now. Russia and Iran are in an alliance, an evil alliance. And that is new. That has never happened in history. And they hate Israel.
It's not an evil alliance. It's a righteous alliance according to the Lord, according to the scriptures. The alliance of Iran and Russia is righteous. The ancient Persians and Medes coming back all over again.
Iran's behind all this crap that's going on that Hamas is doing right now against Israel. And Russia is they're in alliance with Iran, and this is an evil, evil alliance. So let's look at that presentation again. So we see this is the Ezekiel 38-39 countries. You have Magog, which is that area of Russia, Kazakhstan, some of the other stans there, right? You have Gomer, which could be parts of Germany, of Eastern Germany. Meshech, and Tubal could be Turkey. Persia, we know for sure is Iran. Put, Libya, and Cush come from these northern African countries, Sudan, Libya, right? Maybe parts of Ethiopia. And that's what we see here. So that war has not happened yet. But Psalm 83, let's go back to this and let's look at it closely and see how it relates to 1948. Because I believe that that's the fulfillment of the war that they had when they became a nation, when Israel became a nation.
See, he said that's what he believed. Well, your belief is wrong. Proverbs 3:5 reads, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not to thy own understanding. What he believed. Nobody care about what you Edomites believe. You wrong. This nigga gonna go and say, here, this say, Edom, Ammon, Ishmael, Amalek, Moab, Gabal, Hagarenes, right? Philistines. Here is Edom. Amalek and Edom is the so-called white man, the small hats. So how was 1948 Psalms 83 being fulfilled? This guy's bugged out, man. When all these nations came together to take down the Hebrew Israelites, man. You see, this is the thing. The Lord said we would not be known. Let me go back to where I was at. What was I at? He's gonna get ready to read Psalm 83. Okay. So here, and I want to read this, and I'm gonna let this play. This is Lamentations 4:1. It reads, how was the gold become dim? How was the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. Who? Verse 2, the precious sons of Zion comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter, right? The precious sons of Zion. This is verse 8 in Lamentations 4, talking about the sons of Zion. Their visage is blacker than the coal. They are not known in the streets. Why are we not known in the streets? Because the Lord told Jeremiah, this is what we're not. It said the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. The Lord scattered them in the top of every street. We are not known. Jeremiah 17:4, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will call thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. The small hats, the Israelis never served captivity in the land that they knew not. So how has Psalms 83 been fulfilled in 1948? Then, this is Jeremiah 33. Because remember what it say in Psalms 83? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. How was Psalms 83 fulfilling 1948 when in 1948 Israel was established, the state of Israel? That name is everywhere. But Psalms 83 said they would come to cut them off, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. And the name of the 12 tribes of Israel was not in remembrance until the 60s. This is Ezekiel 33 and 23. It reads, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, saying, consider thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen, the southern and northern kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel, he have even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that what? That they should be no more a nation before them. A nation.
So that the name of Israel will no longer be remembered. That's what they're saying.
See, and this is what it's talking about. Again, Jeremiah 33 and 24. Consider thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families, the southern and northern kingdom, which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. This ain't happened in 1948. He talking about the Nazis was killing the Jews. No, that was Edomites killing Edomites, man. You're wrong, buddy.
So these evil people are saying, and it's a psalm, a prophetic psalm talking about this war that happened in 1948, I believe.
See, he believed. No, your belief is wrong. It's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, man. This is Hosea 1 and 10, and it reads, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be at the center of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah, the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, the northern kingdom, be gathered together. Well, in America, the 12 tribes of Israel being gathered together here. This is why caravans of Israelites are coming here. Rather is Levi, Benjamin, Issachar, Ephraim, Asher, Naphtali, any other tribe, they coming here, man, in caravans to America, Babylon the Great. Again, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, Salaki, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, and they shall come up out of the land. What land? America, Babylon the Great, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. This is Jeremiah 3:18. It reads, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together. Well, out of the land of the north, which is America, to the land that I have given for inheritance unto your fathers. He said Ezekiel 36 and 37 was a part of 1948. No, man. Isaiah. Is it, matter of fact, is that Ezekiel 30? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He right. Ezekiel 36. That's the one thing he did say right. Ezekiel 36 was the fulfillment of the Edomites going into the land of Israel. He right. But they ain't Jews. They Edomites.
For they have conspired together with one mind. They make a covenant against you. Against who? Against God. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites, right? That's the countries that we just pointed out, right? Moab and the Hagrites, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek. That's the area of Jordan, right? Philistia with the inhabitants of Tyre, right? Gaza and all that stuff. All those countries came against Israel. Well, let's look at the map and let's check it out. Let's see where this war was exactly. So we know Israel is right here. We know what Adrian renamed it, Palestina, and that's where we get the name Palestine. And this is why these countries were making a big uproar, right? So he wanted to wipe Israel off of the map, but I think it was later. I don't think it was Hadrian, like we just went over. That might have been a foreshadowing of what was going to come, just like Antiochus Epiphanes, right? He was a foreshadowing of the Antichrist, but he wasn't the full fulfillment. I believe in 1948 we saw the actual fulfillment of it as Israel was.
Now, why would he mention Antiochus Epiphanes? But wacky anti-Christians don't believe in the Apocrypha. But he just mentioned Antiochus. Hypocrites, man.
Rebirth in those same countries listed in Psalm 83 were the same countries that were against it, and they lost. God miraculously saw Israel through that. But Ezekiel 36, let's take a look at this. This speaks of Israel coming back from the four corners of the world and becoming a nation again, rebirthed in 1948, right? For I will take you, God says to...
This is not what Ezekiel 36 is talking about, man. It's talking about the Edomites taking the land of Israel, man. The small hats. See, this is the madness, and this is why we have to stand in great boldness to defend the gospel, man. Because people out here believe this trash. This shit got 172,000 views 1 year ago. Madness, man.
This is God speaking. For I will take you from the nations and gather you from all the lands. I will bring you into your own land. This is beautiful. And they will say, this desolate land has become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste, desolated and ruined cities are fortified and inhabited. That's exactly what happened for 2,000 years. Israel was a desolate wasteland, nothing but just maybe a few nomadic herders. Nobody lived there. There was nothing growing hardly. But here, it's like the Garden of Eden again. That's what it's like there today because God has blessed them. And then he says, Son of man, God speaking to Ezekiel, can these bones live? So there's like a valley full of dry bones that Ezekiel sees in this vision. And then here Ezekiel says, and I answered, Lord God, you yourself know. I love that answer. You know, God, I don't. And then God says, behold, I'm going to make breath enter you so that you may come to life. This is God speaking directly to Israel. Son of man, these bones are the entire house of Israel. So God tells them what these bones are. I will bring you into the land of Israel, God says. I will bring you into the land of Israel. I wanted to read that again because this is God speaking. So, what happened in 1948? He brought the people of Israel from Europe mostly back into the land of Israel and then to Russia. From Russia later on, they inhabited Israel, and then Africa. The Ethiopian Jews, they came up and they're in the land of Israel, and from Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Iran and all these other countries. The people of Israel came home to their father's land, like that prodigal son coming home, right?
Hey, boy, these Edomites gonna be so hurt when Yahweh shall return. This nigga is straight going off. What is he talking about, man? You talking about the Edomites being gathered from the It said Judah and Israel are gonna come out of the north country, man. What is this nigga talking about? Hold on. This is hey, like Nahoya just told me when we was talking, Nahoya said, hey, these heathens are scrambling hard to turn in some homework, man. This is not according to prophecy. Jeremiah 50 and 33. It reads, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Now this said the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. The other buzzword is, he shall disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Why America, Babylon the Great? Because all 12 tribes of Israel is being oppressed here. This guy's lying. He's completely going off. Wow. Then, this is Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 16 in verse 14, it reads, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from where? From the land of the north, and from all lands whither he have driven them, and I will bring them again unto their land, and I gave unto their fathers. Now, he stopped reading Ezekiel 37. Why? Because his ass have to go to verse 14 and 15. In Ezekiel 37, which these Edomites would not do, because if you read that, then you got to question him and say, where is Ephraim? Where's Ephraim in the land of Israel? So he ain't going to read that. Ezekiel 37 and 15, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take thee another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, would thou not show us what thou meanest by these? So he ain't gonna read this. Why? Because the Lord said, verse 21, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. There are 3 nations in the land of Israel, right in the state of Israel right now. You got the Arabs, you got Edom, Ishmael, and Elam in our land, man. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, the southern and northern kingdom, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Where is King David? Verse 24, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Where is King David in the land of Israel right now? Hold on, I got another one. If the Israelites went home in 1948, why is this not happening? Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days. When? In the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. Meaning Israel is going to be established over all governments and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. All nations ain't flowing into Israel now. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God of Jacob, and he would teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. To show you this ain't happening, Chinese and Japanese still worshiping their own idols. This say, and he would teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. Father Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. It say all nations shall flow to it. Right? And we will walk in his path. He shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. If you ask an Edomite or any Christian, what does it mean to beat your swords into plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks? They can't tell you. Nation, here's the point I want to make. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Man, it's bloodshed in Israel right now, man. This nigga is lying. This is why we got to defend this gospel, man. The so-called white man here, this Edomite, look how red he is. He's a liar, man. But it tell you that, hey, the wicked have forged lies against us. Psalms 119 and 69. The proud have forged lies against us, but we will keep the Lord precepts with our whole heart, man. Job 13 and 4 said they are forgers of lies. They are physicians of no value, man. When the Israelites go back home, and let me get this one. When the Israelites go back to the land of Israel, ain't going to be no war. Ezekiel 39. This is Ezekiel 39 in verse. Let me start at 7. So will I make my holy name known in the midst. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith Yahweh power. This is the day whereof I have spoken, and they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth. What are they going to do, Lord? And shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers and the bows and the arrows and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. This ain't happening. So that they should take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord power. This is not happening in the land of Israel. Listen to the more of this trash.
Isn't that beautiful? Now we're going to look at Ezekiel 38.
Look, that nigga jumped straight from. You ain't even read the importance of Ezekiel 37, you slow belly. Let's go back.
From Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Iran.
Hold on. He ain't going to nothing. Right here.
This is God speaking. So what happened in 1948? He brought the people of Israel from into the land of Israel, God says. I will bring you into the land of Israel. I wanted to read that again because this is God speaking.
He jumped straight from Ezekiel 37. He ain't read about Judah and Ephraim being joined as one stick. You damn devil. And when you read in Ezekiel, hold on, in Ezekiel 37, right? I read it said, take one stick for Judah and Israel his companions, and take another stick for Joseph for the stick of Ephraim and his companions, and join into one stick, right? This is verse 27. Now I read 24, it said, David my servant shall be king over them. Over who? All 12 tribes. And they shall all have one shepherd. And they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes to do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I gave unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them, the tabernacle of David. Yeah, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. Now, he said his sanctuary. Revelation 21:3 reads, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, the tabernacle of God is with men. What men? Judah and Israel, Judah and Ephraim. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their power. Now, in Revelations 21, when you read here, it tell you in verse 12, right? This is a kingdom. Now, this is verse 10. And he carried me away, Revelation 21:10. He carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, which I just read Isaiah 2, which is the kingdom of heaven, Jerusalem, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, which is the Israelites, the elect men coming back down out of the chariots, the elect men with those women. It reads, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. This is verse 12. This is John say he saw the new Jerusalem and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Where is that in Jerusalem right now, over there in the state of Israel? Where is the 12 tribes of the names of the Israelites on the gates in Jerusalem, in the state of Israel right now? Nowhere, man. This was not the fulfillment of 1948, man. This nigga is lying. Esau Edom is a liar, man. This nigga is these Edomites are something else, man. And as again, as Big Bro said, the so-called white man is scrambling hard to turn in some homework, man. Job 13:4 reads, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, man. Forgers of lies. In Psalms 79:1, which links right with Ezekiel 36. Psalm 79:1, it reads, O God, the heathen are coming into thy inheritance. Inheritance is the land. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. This is Isaiah 1:7. It reads, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. Why is the state of Israel desolate? Because the Israelites are not there. Heathens in our land, man.
So what happened in 1948? He brought the people of Israel from Europe mostly back into the land of Israel and into Russia. From Russia later on, they inhabited Israel, and then Africa. The Ethiopian Jews, they came up and they're in the land of Israel, and from Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Iran and all these other countries, the people of Israel came home to their father's land, like that prodigal son coming
This
home.
man is
Right? Isn't that
unscrupulous for
beautiful?
real.
Now we're going to look at Ezekiel 38. This has
man.
never come about. This is something that has never happened in biblical history, in world history. It has never happened. That's why I believe this will be the next war that we see.
He's saying this is why
So let's take a look at it. Ezekiel 38.
He don't know nothing.
Behold, I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So Gog is not an area. This is a leader. This is a prince, the leader, the chief of this big evil army that's coming from Meshach and Tubal. So he's Gog of what? Magog, this area right here, which the historian Josephus called that area of Magog the area north of the Caspian Mountains, which is what? Area of Russia and some of these other countries surrounding it that are very anti-Semitic, by the way. So God speaks, he's talking about Magog, and he's going to name all these other countries coming against Israel. This is a future war, you guys. And God's going to see him through it. It's powerful. You got to stay to the end of this because you're going to see how God miraculously and powerfully, like the days of Moses, protects Israel. It's pretty awesome. So very awesome. All right. So here's some of the other countries: Persia, Cush, and Put with them, all of them with buckler and helmet, Gomer with all of its troops. Speaking of this huge army, right? Persia being Iran, Cush and Put, all of them, those North African nations. And here we're seeing it again, right? Here's those countries: Persia, that area of Iran, right? Here's those other countries, very Muslim countries, by the way, today, very Islamic, which is against Israel, as you know, watching the news. You should know that stuff. And Ezekiel 38 continues, and many days you will be summoned in the latter years. Look at that. The latter years, God says, speaking of not the end, but the latter years. And you will come into the land that is restored from the sword, right? The land of Israel, which have been gathered. They've been gathered from many nations to the mountains of Israel, which had been a continual place of ruins. We went over that already, right? But its people were brought out, God says, from the nations, and they are living securely. All of them. They are living securely. Why are you going to mess with my people, right? That's what God's basically telling them. And you will go up and you will come like a storm. You will be like a cloud covering the land. You know, I had friends that were in the Battle of Mogadishu in Somalia back in the 90s. I was in 3rd Ranger Battalion, and my friends in Bravo Company told me all about this big war. And they even
Now, show you this nigga and read. He didn't read Ezekiel 37 about Judah and Israel being joined as one stick. And he mentioned Ezekiel 36, but he didn't read it because it don't fit the narrative when you read the scriptures, man. You can quote shit all the time, but if you ain't digging into what's really going on, it don't hit home. But this is what Esau do, man. They was in control of the narrative. Not anymore, because we read over here. Ezekiel 36 and 1. Also, thy son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy, he ain't gonna read this shit. Because the enemy have said, well, this ain't shit, but you know what I'm saying. He ain't gonna read this important chapter, because the enemy has said against you. Against who? The land of Israel. Aha. Even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, because they have made you desolate and swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? And have swallowed you up on every side, that you may be a possession. Unto who, Lord? unto the residue of the heathen, not Israelites. It's going to be a residue to the heathen. See, he ain't going to read this chapter here. And swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith Yahweh power to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken. Why are the cities in Israel forsaken? Because the Israelites are not there, which became a prey and derision to who, Lord? To the residue of the heathen. What's the residue of the heathen nations? The so-called white man, the Edomites, the elite side of them, Amalek, the so-called Jews. A prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against who? The residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. Idumea is the elites, the Edomites, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their hearts. And this nigga here is excited too, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say thus, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. And this is what we watching happen now. The Edomites in the land of Israel, in the state of Israel, the Lord got them bearing their shame because they took the land and said, aha, the ancient high places are ours in possession. Yeah, man. This nigga think he owns something, bro. He ain't own nothing. This red devil thinks he owns something. Yeah, he is on something. He further condemning himself. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Joe. Yeah, this nigga here, he's excited, man. He's excited. I hope he be that excited for slavery, boy. I hope he be that excited for slavery. Job 15:5. For thy mouth uttered thine iniquity, and thou chew the tongue of the crafty. Thy own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yeah, thy own lips testify against thee. He's excited, man. He's just so excited. I'm happy for him.
Told me about the two snipers, Gordon and Shugart, who were above this big battle in Mogadishu. They saw another Black Hawk crash land, and there was a survivor down there, and they could see what looked like a cloud of Somalis moving in on that crash site, armed and angry Somalis. They wanted blood. Those two guys volunteered. They went down there and they rescued that pilot and hit him off, and they were the ones that absorbed the wrath of that crowd, which really speaks of what Jesus did for us. But that's what they saw. It was like a cloud of angry, armed Somalis coming in, or like the hornet's nest being disturbed, right? And it's like a cloud of hornets coming down. And that's how God describes this army. You will go up, you will come like a cloud, like a storm, and will be like a cloud covering the land. So God gives a big picture of what it's like. And you and all your troops and many peoples with you. So here it is again. Magog is that land up in Russia. Gomer's parts of could be parts of Germany. Right here we're seeing Turkey involved in it. Persia, which is Iran, and Put and Libya and Cush. But we don't see Saudi Arabia, the sons of Dedan, Sheba and Dedan. They're not coming against it. That happened in the war in 1948, right? We know that. We saw that happen in that war, which could be the fulfillment of Psalm 83, but Ezekiel 38 and 39 is something different. In fact,
but first he said that anyway, This is where that battle finna go on at though. Yeah. Where they face towards the Hinder Sea and they back towards the utmost sea. Let's read that Joel 2. This devil don't know what's going on, man. And like Big Bro said, man, these Edomites scrambling trying to turn in some homework, man. They've been watching the apostles, man. Stop it. We know that, man. This is Joel 2 and 20. And this is talking about this area right here. Matter of fact, let's go back to how he had up on the screen.
In fact, it says these countries are asking, why are you guys coming down against?
Right there. This is Joel 2 and 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. That's here. That's here. With his face towards the East Sea, which is the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea here. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. Here. You see it. Devil don't know what's going on, man.
Israel, what are you doing? Are you after plunder? And even Jordan's not involved in this, and Egypt is not involved in this war, this Ezekiel 38-39 war. It's something totally different. Okay, so let's continue on. Ezekiel 38. You will come from your place out of the remote parts of the north.
So why would he say Psalms 83 was fulfilled in 1948, but Ezekiel 38 is something different? You damn dummy.
You and many peoples with you. So here's the question. Where are the remote parts of the north in reference to Israel, right? To Jerusalem? Straight up, it's Russia. Okay. The remotest part of the north from there is Russia.
This is the only thing he do got right.
And Persia and all these other countries. That's the main country that comes down, the countries that come down against Israel in this Ezekiel 38 war. So that's what we're seeing, you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the rest of it here. So Ezekiel 38 continues, and you will come up against my people Israel like a cloud covering the land. He reemphasizes that. But it shall come about in the last days that I will bring you against my land. So who brings them on? Who's in charge here? God. God's always on the throne. He's always in charge. Nothing catches him by surprise. He wrote.
Nigga said that God gonna come up against his people Israel. That ain't what his damn said. You lying ass devil. That nigga just lied, man. The people of Israel ain't in the land, ain't in the state of Israel, man. They tell you, we just read in Jeremiah 3 and 18, in Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 16, tell you that Judah and Israel are going to come together out of the land of the north, man.
Down this war before it even happened, because he sees the future and he's in control of the future. So it shall come about, I'll bring you against my land. God's
ain't in control of nothing, man. This is the will of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will.
It says it's the Father's land. And I love that reference. It is the Father's land. The land of Israel belongs to the Father God, because he is that prodigal son's father who welcomes Israel home. That other brother was angry, right? He was jealous, right? We don't want to be that as a church. We don't want to be like, God, why are you saving Israel? We want to be rejoicing with him when he saves Israel, not with our arms crossed going, oh, you didn't throw a party like this for me. This son of yours comes home.
Yeah, I see what they call them rednecks. Look at that nigga neck, man. Look at that nigga neck, man.
We don't want to be like that. So let's go back. Let's check it out, guys. Okay. And so that the nations may know, God says, me, when I show myself holy through you, speaking about this enemy that he's about to destroy before their eyes, Gog. So he's speaking to this leader again, right? Every man's sword will be against his brother. With plague and with blood, I will enter into judgment with him. And I will
Man. And I look, man, some of the videos. Look at this, Ezekiel 38, 39, Russia. Look at this right here. They're showing you Iran, Israel. Man, the Lord cold, man. The Lord is cold, man. We are, hey, man, we here live in real time, man. Seeing the Lord stir up jealousy like a man of war. Let me read this. Isaiah 42 and 13. And these devils don't, all they know, man, man, you know they've been watching the apostles. You know they've been watching the apostles, man. Who else talk about Ezekiel 38, man? Nobody else talk about Ezekiel 38. Nobody else. If any one of you brothers on the comment board know anybody else that's been talking about Ezekiel 38, please tell me who. Because it's good for edification. Our energy over here don't get messed up by listening. We love this. Right. I say if I could, I would. Right. Nobody talk about Ezekiel 38 but the apostles, elder bishops, elders, and brothers that done learned from the apostles. Come on, man. Whoever you is, G27. Hey, brother, listen. Chill out. Hold your peace. Post scriptures or hold your peace before you go into cyberspace. Real talk. Because nobody getting messed up. This excite us because we know they lying. We know they lying. You know they lying. We don't need your comment. Post scriptures or hold your peace, bro. Whoever you is. G27. Who is you? Where you come from? Let me read this real quick. Isaiah 42 and 13. Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yell, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And this ain't for us. This for our followers. This is for those that's watching, those that's following Yahweh Bashim Awashai. The truth, we got to further show our people. Look how cold these devils can lie. And just like 2/3 Jakes out there who follow these false prophets, nobody want to mention the apostles of GMS that they learned from them. You got all these guys out here, these new starts, believers of the way, all these different groups that learn from the apostles. All these guys, but they want to give the credit to them. Man, these Edomites ain't no shit about no damn Ezekiel 37, Gog of Magog, man. Nothing. Them elites ain't finna mention the Persians, but you got Benjamin that another Jew, and I was talking about this account the other week. These devils stay talking to this nigga, stay on Persia. Why? The Lord got the spirit on that nigga to stay mentioning Persia because they know Iran. They know about Iran, the Medes and the Persians that took down ancient Babylon, man. That took down the empire of Nebuchadnezzar's son that was in power at the time. They know, man. Them Edomites know about history when it comes to Israel being not Israel, Iran and Russia, man. They know, man. These devils know. Then they try to make it about what's his Antonium, what is it called? ANTIMONY. Whatever they say that Iran found 7,000 tons, 7,000 pounds of this shit. So this is what Benjamin Netanyahu really trying to get at the video Elder Malcolm did the other week. These guys are going to the guy and one chick was going into, he was playing a video. They really want what Iran have found to help make more weapons or whatever. Listen, man, they know about the old Persians and Medes, man. Because it tell you in Ecclesiastes 1, there is nothing new under the sun. And that which was, the Lord required that which is past, man. They know. The Lord said he's going to put the hooks. The Lord had these Edomites to create NATO, to dismantle the Soviet Union, just so Yahweh Shah can put the hooks in the jaws of the old Soviet Union and bring them back and build them better than ever, man. This is the Lord. Built them back better. And now they got more allies than they did when they took down the Babylonian Empire, man. When the Medes and Persians took down the Babylonian Empire, they had as many allies as they got now, man. Now Medes and Iran got a lot of allies built around them, man. Russia being the military, China being the monetary. And man, Africa is rolling with the whole Africa continent gonna roll with the BRICS, man. Babylon is through, man. They're through.
I will rain on him and on his troops and on the many peoples who are with him. What will he rain on them? A torrential rain, hailstones, fire, and brimstone.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Revelations 9, Joel 2, Isaiah 13 and 5, Isaiah 9 and 5. Matter of fact, let's read that one. Isaiah chapter 9 and 5, it reads, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Don't mess with God. If you're Hamas and you're listening, you better back off. If you're against Israel.
No, if you're an Edomite and you listening, you better back off. Get it right, white boy. If you are Edomite and you hear this, back off, man.
You better back off because this is going to be bad for you.
He's excited.
Hailstones,
too,
fire, and brimstone. This is what God's going to bring down on the enemies of Israel in this war.
Yeah. And the enemies of Israel are all you heathens. And the brothers on the mall put this up. Luke 1 and 69. And have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Yeah, man. This devil. You're talking to yourself. Nigga putting his foot in his own mouth.
Whoa. So that's how God is, right? These dark clouds come, peals of thunder and lightning, and huge hailstones come down and destroy this army that comes down
You
from
nigga don't know what he's talking about, man. Talking about missiles, you slow belly Edomite.
the north against Israel. Brimstone, that's like big hailstones of fire, like he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. This is serious stuff. And God said, so I will prove myself great.
This nigga look like vocab and sound like vocab.
Show myself holy and make myself known in the sight of many nations, right? And they will know that I am the Lord. They will know, God says, that I am the Lord. So this is beautiful. It's nothing to be afraid of because God wins. Guys, here's the thing. Revelation, here's a real quick summary of it. The good guys win, the bad guys lose. Jesus wins in the end. And if you're on his side, you win with him. If you belong to him, you win with him. You're either against him or you're for him. That's what he said. There's no middle ground. And we're starting to see that in this world. It's like everything's being divided. There's the people protesting for the Palestinians, for the Hamas, wanting Israel to be killed and gassed, and they're saying horrible things. They're with them. Or there's people saying, hey, leave Israel alone. It's wrong what's happening. This stuff was wrong.
Man, everybody's against the state of Israel right now. What this guy talking about, man? In Luke 12 and 51, anyway, the Lord said he come to bring division. See, these Edomites don't have no clue, man. They have nothing. And this is beautiful because it tell you in Job 28 and 12, where shall wisdom be found? It is not found in the land of the living. Deuteronomy 32, verse 1 and 2, the Lord got to rain it down on you, man. What's the song? Rain down on me. If the Lord don't wet your head up with this spirit, with this truth, man, you through. They have a vision. It is not according to prophecy, man. right? And where there is no vision, the people perish. These are all slow belly heathens, man. They don't know the Lord, man. So these niggas, like bro said, these niggas is scrambling to turn in some homework, man. But it's the wrong assignment. Anyway, let me close with this precept here. Because again, in Jeremiah 50:33, these people forget, man. Jeremiah 50:33, it reads, again, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause. And this is a different plead than the one that's in Isaiah 66, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Why is Babylon being mentioned here? Because they oppressed the children of Israel and Judah together. Is Lord's. Then why are you here listening? That's good. Well, hey, bro, listen. Let me help you. Let me help you get where you're trying to go at. Let me help you get where you're trying to go at, brother. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. And he shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet inhabitants of Babylon. Let me get this. Again, Jeremiah 16 and 14. Jake, fucking weird, man. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought the children of Israel from the land of Egypt. Salakia. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whether he have driven them, and I will bring them again into their land. It said, I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Then I went to Jeremiah 3 and 18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for the inheritance unto your fathers. This hasn't happened yet, man. We are waiting on the Lord. Oh, as a matter of fact, this is Jeremiah 23. In verse 5, it reads, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth, because that's the habitation of the Lord's throne, justice and judgment. Psalms 89 and 14. Verse 6. In his days, which is the Messiah, Yahushua, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. See? And there he go right here again. Verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all countries, whether I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Come on, man. Hey, so Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. The bonus to the apostles, elder bishop, and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth. The entire world shedding light to the host elect. Shalom to that world who are listening, learning. If you're still listening, throughout to the end, may Yahweh Bashim Yahushua continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of relation be upon your house. The next time I say Shalom, Wa Abba Abba. I'm gonna read this precept from the brother Bayan Yasha Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions, and casteth my words behind thee? And this is exactly what Esau is doing here in this video, man. He's casting the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua behind him. But he's a heathen. They can't receive this truth, the understanding of the Lord. So, and to tell you in Obadiah 1 and 7 and in Daniel 12 and 10 that the wicked should not understand, man. Oh, what's that? Proverbs, what's that? 28? Is it 28 and 5? Does it say the wicked? Let me read it. This man don't know what's going on, man. That man watching the apostles and they winging it, man. Proverbs 28 and 5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahweh will understand of all things. They don't know what's going on, man. Hey, the off tuning in. So next time I say Shalom, Wa Abba. And at G27, they don't worry about coming over here no more. Don't worry about it, brother. Or whoever you is.